Hello and welcome to MoreBikes. We're here in Sardinia for the launch of Honda's new Africa Twin. We've just spent the day riding the new Adventure Sports with the Showa semi-active suspension, and we're here with a couple of chaps from Honda who are hopefully going to help us ask or answer some questions from our readers. So with us here we have
Kenji Morita, large project reader.
So the man behind the new Africa Twin essentially, and helping us is...
I'm Paul Nowers from Honda Motor Europe, the PR manager for motorcycles there.
Fantastic, thanks chaps. So yeah, cut straight to it. Got some questions from some readers.
Great.
So there's a few things that we will know between us that we've obviously gleaned from the tech specs and bits and pieces. But if you just treat it as a fairly basic, and we'll just go through it, that'd be lovely.
Yep.
So first off, is there any increase in torque from the engine and any weight reduction?
エンジンのトルクは上がってますか？で、重量も下がってますかと。
はい、Yes。
どれぐらい？トルクが。
So what?
7%.
7% increase in torque.
Yes.
Is that the same for power as well?
Power is 6%.
6%. And weight reduction?
4 kilograms.
4 kilograms. So that's an impressive achievement, particularly in light of recent Euro 5 emissions regulations. Is there any particular tricks to that? Is there anything in particular you've done to achieve that?
For the torque or for the weight reduction?
Let's say the weight reduction.
重量削減は主に何が貢献しています？
エンジンの材料置換とフレームの構造の見直しですね。
So the biggest changes are the structure of the frame, which is about 1.8 kilograms lighter, and a lot of the new materials in the engine, they reduce the engine weight by about 2 kilograms as well.
Yeah. So I guess a big part of that's the new CRF 450R subframe that's bolted on, an aluminium bolted on rather than welded on. Is that what inspired that decision?
The aluminium or the bolt-on?
The bolt-on, I suppose. Is it?
要は溶接でワンユニットじゃなくて、なんで今回ボルテッシュで締めてます？
一番は軽量化をするためにリア周りをアルミにすると。でもフレームは、強度が必要なので鉄で作りたい。
でもアルミで作ってる。フレームは
鉄のままにしたい。
そうですね。So the driver between having the rear subframe as aluminium was the biggest thing was to reduce the weight, and on the other hand with the main frame itself to make sure that it's got the required rigidity that remains as steel.
Right, fantastic. What have you done to the engine to increase torque and increase power?
どうやって馬力とトルクを上げてます？エンジンは。
基本的には排気量アップと給排気の見直しです。
The main things are the increase in capacity, but there's a lot of work gone into the intake and the exhaust efficiency. So the engine breathes a lot better.
Engine breathes a lot better. Fantastic. Did the Euro 5 regulations present any problems? Was that tricky to get around that while increasing power and torque?
馬力とトルクをアップしながらユーロ5クリアするのが難しいんですか？
非常に難しいと思います。ユーロ5はユーロ4に比べて非常にエミッションレベルが高くなっているので、浄化性能を上げながらというところが非常に難しい。
There's a big challenge. It's very difficult. Euro 5 are much stricter in a lot of the regulations regarding emissions compared to Euro 4. So to get the required sort of cleanliness of the emissions whilst increasing the power and torque, that was a huge challenge.
Yeah, it's quite an achievement, really. What in particular has gone into that, or is it probably too detailed and too specific and to really go into detail?
主に玉としてユーロ5クリアできた玉はいくつか述べられますか？
議説でも話しましたけど、
うん
スロットルボアを、
うん
シリンダーと、その直接ずれてたのを直しましたと
うん
いうところと、あとはキャタライザーを、エンジンの、近傍まで移設したこと、この2つが一番大きなこと。
The two biggest things were the change to the catalyzer, which is now nearer the engine itself, so it warms up more quickly and acts more efficiently, therefore. But another important thing was that we've now got a dead straight line-up between the centre of the throttle bodies and the centre of the cylinders, so that intake efficiency is that much better, whereas previously it was offset, it wasn't as good as it is now, so that was a big thing that made it possible.
And was that trial and error, or how did you work out that was going to be the ideal solution?
ソロボとシリンダーを要はまっすぐにした方がいいねって言ったのは、それは試行錯誤の中でそう決めたんですか、それともおそらくこれで結構変わってくるじゃんっていう発想があったんですか？
初めからそういう発想です、スタートしてます。試行錯誤ではなくてこれがベストであるという。
Yes, on that one, it wasn't a case of trial and error. That was very much kind of looking at the engine and therefore kind of deciding that that would be something that would probably make a big difference.
Yeah. No, fantastic. So changing tack slightly. What was the reason for making the adventure sports more of a sports tourer and the standard Africa Twin more of an off-roader? Because I mean, previously the adventure sports was the off-road model. What inspired that decision?
今回はアドベンチャースポーツはツーリングにすごくいいバイクだと思います。で、スタンダードはどっちかというとオフがすごくいいと思います。で、前の機種はどっちかといえばアドベンチャースポーツの方はオフ性があるようなバイクだったと思うんですけど、なぜこういうふうに変えたのかなという話ですね。
古いアドベンチャースポーツの方も確かにそのツーリングっていうところとオフロードっていうところ、オフロードの部分も非常にフォーカスされたモデルだとは思うんですけど、スタンダードモデルの方も、十分にツーリング性能とオフ性能を持っているというところで、ある意味非常に似たような性能、目標を持って作ったところがあります。なので、そうするとお客さんの広がりっていうんですかね、っていったところが、なかなか取れないというところで、それぞれのモデルの狙いを明確に分けるっていうことを今回しました。それの答えが、ビッグタンクには長旅、スモールタンクにはオフロード性能というところに。
So I think where we were with the two previous versions was that the adventure sports had elements of off-road, as you say, but it was also very good for touring. But even the standard bike as well was also, capable of doing both very well. So in that sense, they were kind of very close together in terms of the target for the development. So taking a step back and looking at how we could appeal to a wider range of customers, we felt that it would make more sense to have a clearer difference between the two, which is why we just focused on the big tank bike being a long ranger and the smaller tank bike now being more clearly focused on off-road.
Absolutely, it makes perfect sense. And what's the reason for adding the electronic suspension just to the top-of-the-line adventure sports rather than the standard Africa Twin?
電子サスはいわゆるスタンダードにはつけないで、やっぱり L4 だけにつけた理由は何ですか？
まず、スタンダードアフリカツインの方は、オフロードにフォーカスしましたというところで、純粋に、スポーツを楽しむといったところです。で、アドベンチャースポーツの方は旅っていうところにフォーカスしているので、オンロードで使う部分も非常に多くなってくるというところで、ロングサスペンションによるノーズダイブであったり、いろんなシチュエーションを走るっていうところが、より、 広がるというところで、いろんなシチュエーションに、いいところだけを出すために、電子制御サスペンションを使ったと。
Again, it goes a little bit back to the concept with the smaller tank version being focused on the sports and the off-road, so that kind of riding, whereas the adventure sport one, because we feel that there's going to be a larger percentage of most of the riders riding on road, so all the different situations that can throw up, whether it's nose diving or anything that the road conditions do throw up, having the kind of suspension which can handle any change in road surfaces seem to make more sense on the long ranger than on the sports version.
So it's sort of again about differentiating between the three individual models and making a flagship, all singing, all dancing.
いわゆるフラッグシップみたいなところも
そういうところももちろんあります。
Yeah, there's definitely that element too of having a flagship amongst the different versions.
Yeah, no, that makes complete sense. Yeah, absolutely. And sort of tagging on to that, why did you choose to decrease the seat height for the adventure sports?
で、まあ流れて、似たような質問なんですけど、アドベンチャースポーツのシートハイトはなんで下げたんですか？
今回は特に旅っていうところに、フォーカスしているので、やっぱり荷物をたくさん積むっていったところから、より安心して乗れるっていうところにフォーカスしてます。
So again, with it being more of a real long range focus, and bearing in mind that for a lot of people would mean loading the bike up fully with a lot of luggage, just having that peace of mind of the lower seat height in that scenario is something that was important to us.
Was that was it partly because from my experience it was a tall bike, very tall.
Yeah.
Was customer feedback something that was played into that decision?
お客さんからの声もあったんですか？
声ももちろんあります。はい。
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, yeah, we listen to that as well.
Is customer feedback something that you? How important is the customer feedback in your decision making when designing a new bike?
開発にあたって要は現役機種に対するお客さんの声はどれぐらい重要なんですか？
いや、とても重要です。はい。
Very important.
Very important. Yeah, no. That's a silly question, really. So I've just got a couple of sort of slightly silly questions. Which is your personal favourite of the new Africa Twins?
森田さんどれが好きですか？
とても悩ましいです。
That's very difficult.
Yeah, no.
本当に正直に言って、アドベンチャースポーツも欲しいし、スタンダードモデルも欲しい。非常に悩みます。で、まずは言ってください。
Ideally, I'd like one of each.
That's a very good answer.
Yeah. Between whether I'd want the adventure sport or the standard.
でなんですけど、今現行モデルのアドベンチャースポーツを私は持ってます。なので、今選ぶんであれば、スタンダードモデルが欲しいかなって思います。
But at the moment, because I've got the, if you like, the previous adventure sport in the garage already, if I had to choose one, I'd go for the standard.
Oh, that's very interesting. Yeah, no. So it's ready for some off-road. Yeah, definitely. And I know this isn't really to do with your design, but why did Honda ever stop selling the Africa Twin in the first place?
大昔アフリカツインディスコンにしたのはなぜですかね？それは森田さんに聞く筋じゃないと思うけど。
なかなか難しいな。当時、2000年ぐらいですよね。スーパースポーツが非常に全盛期を迎えていて、アドベンチャーラリーの方にも出なくなって長くなってといったところがあっていう、ちょっとなんとも言えないな。
難しいだからね。
なかなか難しいな。よりスーパースポーツの方にフォーカスした時期が、オンロードの方にフォーカスした時期が、 続いたんで、アフリカツインにちょっと手が出せなかったんです。
It's really, difficult to answer because,
Yeah.
it was a while ago and things, but it was at that time that, we weren't in the rally anymore, and it was just the kind of super sports golden age, if you like, when they were selling, a lot more than the off-road kind of flavoured machines.
Yeah.
So that's really where the Africa Twin kind of reached the end of that chapter.
No, fair enough. No, absolutely. Because you were selling good numbers, but I suppose in the grand scheme of things, never mind. It's nice to have it back. I suppose that's the crux of it, isn't it? Yeah.
私もすごく嬉しいです。
Yeah, I'm really happy about that.
Yeah, no, me too.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic bike. I really love it. I had a fantastic day today riding the new adventure sports with the electronic assist suspension. So yeah, no, thank you very much for your work,
Thank you very much.
and thanks a lot for talking to me. So yeah, thanks for listening. Stay tuned for more from More Bikes.